Should you be buying or selling your assets in this stock market? Well, first off, you got to take a step back and look. When we're filming this video right now, it's April 11th, 2023. If you look at last year, the S&P 500 between January and December was down 18%, right? So for a lot of people who are investing and are newer investors, that's their first time really seeing a down market that happened and sustained over that period of time. So from January to December, you were looking at a down market of about 18%. Today, year to date, that same S&P 500 index is up about almost 7.5%. So really the question you should be asking yourself is, am I in a position where I need to sell? And what is the intention of selling? Or am I in the position of buying? And what am I looking to do if I'm investing? Before you're making or thinking about buying or selling anything, you really need to think about, well, what is the intention behind it, right? Why would I need to sell an asset, especially if that asset's down? Do I think that it's going further down than where it is, and so I just want to recoup anything I have? Am I looking to potentially harvest some losses for tax purposes, right? What would be the intention of selling? Because oftentimes, if you're investing, you should be investing for the long haul. And if the long haul is, hey, you know what, this company has good potential to run, why would you sell it just because news is bad or the market's down a little bit if you know that over the long run, things will do better? In the same respect, you got to look at investing the same way, right? Why do you want to buy? Are you buying because somebody told you that this stock was going to do really well? Are you going to buy because somebody told you that this cryptocurrency is going to do really awesome? Because if we look back and we see when Bitcoin was up near 70,000, were you the person looking to buy them because you had fear of missing out on the market? So some of these things that you want to do is really start to look in on the sectors or on the different companies that you're investing in, and what is the long-term value of that company? Can that company generate revenue? Can that company put money in your pocket through dividends? Does it have the potential to grow, and then you can sell it at a later date for a higher price? These are all things you want to think about when you're starting to determine, should I buy or should I sell? Further, you got to look at the economy today and just look at all the different things that are happening. Let's talk about briefly the bank failures. We've now had to date 2 banks that the FDIC had to step in and take over. So we had SVB Bank and Signature Bank both go under, right? And those banks went under. Why? Poor risk management. They invested the majority of their deposits in low yield bonds or treasuries with the US government. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as in they're going to lose money on those deposits. What they are losing is time, right? Because as interest rates rise, those low yield instruments are out there still, and every day they have to mark those down. So every day, even though the bond didn't lose any money, they have to mark it off on their balance sheet as being worth less and less and less. So as interest rates continue to rise, those banks had to start and continue to mark those down. That spooked investors. That started a run because people were talking about bank insolvency or not being able to meet the demands on deposits. So when you're looking at those things, you have to look into each and every one of these sectors. Is that the only challenge that banks will have? Well, what you're starting to see now is people looking at the exposure banks have to commercial real estate. So are banks looking to start to consolidate into more large banks because smaller community banks have too much exposure to commercial real estate, right? These are all things that you should be looking into, because if you're looking to get into the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones or some sort of index, or you want to get into a sector, you want to look at a business, you want to really understand, well, what are the components that I'm investing in, and what is the long-term outlook on that? Are the banks that are smaller going to be squeezed even further than they are today? That's a real possibility, right? Especially these regional banks that are smaller, because the depositors are already scared and lining up to take funds out. So you're seeing outflows from the small regional banks, plus they're getting squeezed on interest rate hikes. If that continues to happen, you may see more of a consolidation into these bigger banks. Anyway, you want to, no matter what it is, really dig down and do your due diligence. Don't just buy a stock or sell a stock or buy crypto or sell crypto based on somebody's recommendation or somebody's hunch, right? That's not the way that you should be looking at investing. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. What you want to do is take your time, be a smart investor, and look at what the wealthiest did. People like Warren Buffett, when they went into a stock, they went in for the long term. And they invested and they put more money in and more money in and more money in. They also bought dividend-paying stocks. They bought companies that they believed in. And that's really what you want to be doing, is understand whatever it is that you're investing in. And it doesn't just have to be a stock or just be a cryptocurrency. This can go for businesses, right? If you want to get into something and make an investment, understand what it is, understand your own philosophy on how things work, because the reason you want to understand that is when things get difficult, you want to be able to make smart decisions. And you want to understand why you were doing the things that you were doing, and do you need to make a shift, or can you stay the course and ride it out? Appreciate you sticking around on this video. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button, go ahead and subscribe. We're always putting out content like this, but also, if you're looking to speak to a member of the Epic team, click in the description box below. Fill out your information. One of the Epic members will reach out to you and they'll walk you through our success process to help you understand what's coming in, what's going out, and really nail down with you what is your economic philosophy, because more than anything else is going to be the difference between success and failure when it comes to you investing.